Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. So, what is your strategy for working through tough spots? And what I mean by tough spots is more like those times when things just aren't going very well. Sort of like a wilderness period, right? I mean, every leader has wilderness periods. Everyone who's trying to accomplish something of any meaning has wilderness periods. So it's just one of those, you're almost like lost, almost feeling a little bit lost. I've had many of them in my career. And you're going to have lots of them in building your home business. It's just a normal course of events. And so I'm going to give you a few strategies in this video, but first let me give you some clarity as to where you'll see them. I mean, you probably have already experienced some unless you're brand new. And you still have the mindset that, oh, this is going to be great. It is going to be great. That doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It doesn't mean it's not going to be challenging. You're going to have that. Anything of value, you have that. So it's going to take many shapes. And so the first thing to get clarity is that you have to have these. People that don't have wilderness issues are permanently in it. That means their life is permanently in it, right? If they don't experience it, because that means they're just lost in general. And you should have these periods because they mean you're trying to do something. And so any worthy journey is going to have them. So they could look like this. It's a period where it seems like everybody's telling you no. Like it doesn't matter who you talk to, how good it feels. Nobody is buying your product. Nobody is joining your team, right? It's just one of those periods. I'm sure you've had those. So you're working the process, you're doing it, and just it feels like nothing's happening. So that would be one. And then there'd be a period also where you are enrolling new customers, you are enrolling new business partners, but they're all quitting. Everybody's quitting, and nobody's doing anything. And so you're like, oh my gosh, you're in this space. You're like, is this going to happen for me, right? Am I doing something wrong? What's wrong with me? That's the kind of stuff that goes on. You're also going to have plateaus. So you have periods where you're going to get it. You're going to get traction. You're going to have growth, and then you're going to have plateaus. And that's going to be normal. That's a normal course of events. You hear people in the industry talk about, oh, we grew 10x, we did blah, blah, blah. So that pisses me off. It's great that it happened, but they represent it like success looks like that. No, it doesn't look like that. Success is primarily spending a lot of time on plateaus and having periods of growth. And that's the normal course of success in any business. You will have, over time, some periods of dramatic growth, whatever that looks like. Dramatic growth could be 50% in a year, or it could be 20% in a year. But if you think about that, any business, that would be massive growth. You're going to have those times, but that's just like the cherry on the sundae. Most of your business growth will be plateauish, where it'll grow a little grudgingly. So you're going to spend more time in plateaus than not. And then you're going to have periods of Murphy's Law where life happens to you all over the place. No matter what happens, it sort of seems like they happen in threes, right? Your car breaks down, your child gets sick, and something happens over there, a pipe bursts all in the same couple of days, right? Doesn't that happen to you? It happens to me that way. I don't know why, but it just does. So you have life happen stuff, which, causes those periods. And then you're going to have energy periods, right? You're going to have lulls in energy emotionally, right? Building something of value takes a lot of emotional energy. So you're going to have periods of time where you just feel fatigued. You just do. And you just don't feel as bright. You don't feel as sharp. You're going to have those. So those are different versions of this concept. So here are some things you can do. This is what I do because I'm very subject to these in general. Let's face it, I've been in the space now for 29 years. So I get this and have helped people work through it multiple times myself. And inclusive of that is that I have naturally, my chemical makeup is such that I have low emotional energy at least half the time. At least, right? I wake up and I'm not bright that day. I'm a little dull. And so here's how I navigate that. How I teach a lot on mindset and the blueprint process, so that will help you. But this is how I deal with this particular thing. One is I accept it. I accept that it's part of the journey. I don't like use it as a reason to go, oh my gosh, this isn't working. I use it as just accept it at, this is part of any journey. You're going to have this. There's no oasis. You can't get to an oasis unless you walk through the desert. That's just the way it works. And so I accept that it's normal, and I don't make emotional decisions about it. I just do number 2, which is keep going. But also try not to overwork. A lot of the times people, when they get into these periods will try to, they'll work extra hard to push through, which really feeds the emotional drain. I don't overwork in these periods. Do work. Do the amount of work you should be doing, but don't overwork and think that's going to make a difference. It's not about that. It's just about moving through this phase. It's just one of those periods. It's like, you look at the human nature cycle of the process, right? 10 who have an identified need to get 2, right? Well, when you get into a wilderness zone where it seems like there's an extended no, it might mean you're getting 30 no's in a row. The numbers will work out over time. It just happens to be a stretch like that. You see this with baseball players, right? The best hitters on the planet will have an entire week where they don't get a hit. The next week, they might get 3 times as many as normal. That's the point, right? That you just keep working through it. Next is reflect, right? Think about it. What am I learning in this time? What can I do better, right? What can I work on? But don't think that is the reason you're in this cycle. You're just in it because it's a cycle. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But use it as a time of learning. And then reflection. This is a great time to reflect on your vision. So you're reflecting on what you're learning. You're also reflecting on what's the big picture, why you're there. Because keeping that in mind is really, really important. If you're always centered on what just happened today, business is going to be tough for you, right? Because you have more days that, you don't sign up somebody, you don't get a new customer. You have more days of those than you do, right? That's just the nature of it, even if you're full time. And so you got to have that bigger vision about what you're trying to appreciate, what you're trying to accomplish, and that will help you a lot. So there are some things that will help you. I hope you found this as a value. Feel free to share it with someone else that you think it could help. And if you haven't got my 27 scripts that really help you talk to people, make sure that you put your email in at toddberry.com and get that free MP3 download, because it'll really make a difference for you. All right? See you next time.